Good evening, everyone. Today's the day. I'm Richard Lewis Brown. Today is January the 26th, 2022. Happy New Year. Yeah. Whatever. All right, Local 1000. Tonight, I don't feel guilty. Not at all with the things that I'm going to say tonight. I may take questions tonight. I may not. I got a smile on my face. I got this excited, enthusiastic energy. No hysteria tonight. No. I don't have a night fever. But we're going to expose some people for the jive talking they've been doing since the time I've arrived in office on June 30th. That's what I said. I don't have a night fever. Now, I may have had a few nights on Broadway. But tonight, I don't feel guilty. I don't feel sorry because I'm going to tell the truth. And I've been telling you the truth from the time I started. Now, let me say this. Some people will look at tonight and say, oh my, it's a tragedy. They'll say it's a tragedy, and I'll say to you tonight, how deep is your love? I want to know, how deep is your love for Local 1000? Yeah, I'm waving at you, interpreter. Yeah, you see me. I'm excited tonight. I didn't get a chance to do this PowerPoint presentation last week. But tonight, I've been waiting a long time for this. See, I love you inside out. I told you I loved you, Local 1000. Oh, yes, I did. Tonight, we must stop DLC 744 President Bill Hall's power grab to rob the voters of their voices and their votes. You say, that's some jive talking. Now, I'd rather, quote, be dancing. But tonight, this is where we're at. We must stop DLC 744 President Bill Hall's power grab to rob the voters of their voices and their votes. Sounds like internal squabbles here at Local 1000? Well, we're a family. Sometimes family members, we disagree with each other. But the one thing we don't do, we don't rob people of their votes. Because their votes are their voices here at Local 1000. And in this great country, even with our character flaws, in this great country of democracy, voting matters. Don't you know that? We're Americans here. We vote in this country. So we're going to take a close look at this PowerPoint. Some people said, Richard, you've been staying alive all this time? They haven't run you out of office yet? Someone had put a bet on me. He won't make it 6 months. Well, let's see. July, August, September, October, November, December, January. It ain't the 31st yet, but I put my faith in God, Jesus Christ. 7 months. 7 days to start life, 7 days to end life. Let's get it started. Come on now. Let's go. Oh, before we get started, they say, Richard, what are you doing for Local 1000? I've been doing a lot for Local 1000, and I'm going to talk about it tonight. I may even preach tonight. It's Wednesday night. Richard Lewis Brown saves Local 1000 big bucks by calling billionaire Tim Draper's bluff. Remember that guy, Tim Draper? And everybody was running around all emotional. He's going to destroy Local 1000. He's going to destroy public sector unions in California. People are overreacting, all emotional. And I told you, I said, he ain't going to do anything. I said, he doesn't want to deal with me. It ain't in him. I told you this. Here he goes. He talked a big game. We sent out an email this morning in December of 2021. No public employee shall have the right to form, join, or participate in the activities of a public employee labor organization for the purpose of representing said employees on matters of employer-employee relations, Draper told the Desert Review in an August 11th, 2021 story. So he had his chest poked out. I didn't hear those other union presidents doing any talking about Tim Draper. Maybe they were. But I was outspoken. I said, he don't have anything coming for Local 1000. I said, let me get at him. And we don't have to spend a lot of money to get at Tim Draper. In fact, we didn't spend a dime. We could have spent millions upon millions, easily in the hundreds of thousands. But we didn't do that. We didn't overreact here at Local 1000 because you got a real leader here on your hands. Richard Durrell, 7 days a week. All right. What Draper didn't count was ensuring the peaceful. Now listen to this. Peaceful. I wasn't angry. Nope. Peaceful, but determined wrath of Local 1000 President Richard Lewis Brown. And when Draper gave voice to his anti-union rhetoric, President Brown came back with a steadfast and calculated vengeance. But most importantly, he did not overreact like Local 1000 had done in the past by spending millions of our dues-paying memberships' monies by organizing too early, listen to this, organizing too early for a cause that did not require any financial expenditures. I stand behind that. Told you I knew what I was doing. I told you, and now God has shown you. See, this evilness that's circling around me, it's going to eventually end. Trust me on this. It is going to eventually end. Now, Local 1000, I represent employee workers, never bow to the likes of Tim Draper and his anti-union partner, the Freedom Foundation, or any other anti-labor organizations falsely claiming to be pro-freedom, said President Brown. If Tim Draper wants to go to war with the most powerful public sector union in California, we're ready. I told you we were ready. We stay ready. And when they told you those lies that I was working with the Freedom Foundation, I'm trying to destroy the union, that's a lie. I told you. I'm happy tonight. Feeling good. Faced with a staunch adversary, Draper wisely announced that he had pulled the plug because it wasn't in him. It wasn't in him to fight, to destroy us. And good for that. Pulled the plug on collecting signatures for his measure that attacked frontline public sector workers such as those at EDD and DMV that keep California the fourth largest economy on earth. We are somebody. And so, Tim Draper? See, my strong labor stance, non-political focus, listen to this. Strong labor stance, it's about you, not about the politicians. And non-political focus, we're not giving our money to politics. We were going to fight Tim Draper, but we didn't have to. See, they wanted us to overreact. And when they realized that Local 1000 has a labor leader who does not overreact, that knows what he's talking about, has a method, a true method to his madness, too much heaven for you. Too much heaven for you. All right. So here we go. Saved all that money. The Draper disappearance further illustrates that the lies and propaganda connecting President Brown with anti-union forces are slowly but surely dying. And every day I'm going to continue to show you that all these lies and propaganda that they've created in the air to, quote, get you to lose faith, to drop your membership. They don't want you to have faith in your union. They want you to drop your membership. In fact, when you talk about dropping your membership, that excites them. It motivates them. It tells them that they think they're winning. They're not winning. You say, well, who are these people? Why are they doing this, Richard? I thought we were all part of the family. I thought we all wanted the same thing. Keep thinking that. I'm going to show you something. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you thought I didn't know about the sick paid leave? Oh, let me send the email out today. I'm never on it. While other labor leaders sidestepped the issue, September 30th, 2021, I wrote a letter to Arena Ortega, Director of Cal HR, urging the organization to provide a supplemental paid sick leave extension to all Local 1000 represented employees and ensure our state workforce remain protected. Did you remember when I did that, or did you forget? Because they're telling you all these lies and I'm trying to destroy the union. But here I am, working for you. Here I am, with a positive attitude. Sure. In fact, someone called and asked me that on a Wednesday night, and the very next day we got the letter sent out. That letter's on our website, that email. Then, we did it again on January 14th of this year. Sent an email to Ms. Ortega and the state to act immediately to restore the supplemental paid sick leave. And in the process, reminded her that state workers have been essential throughout the entire 2-year run of the pandemic. And let me tell you something. State employees of Local 1000 and all the public sector unions, you've always been essential. Whether you're a frontline worker, or you're just an office technician, or a custodian, you work at DMV, the state hospital, CDCR behind those prison walls, you've always been essential. But they didn't want to tell you that. But I'm going to tell you that every single day. I'm your Local 1000 president. Now, it's gone through an agreement between Governor Newsom and the California legislature on January 25th to provide 2 weeks of COVID supplemental paid sick leave. And it's going to end on September 30th, 2022. Now, they haven't gone through all the steps yet, but it's going to be effective January 1st, 2022. They got to go through the Assembly, and then through the Senate, and then the governor will sign it. But the deal has already been made informally, but not formally yet. But this is a great thing. Now, I want you to understand this. An agreement was made with the governor and the California legislature, with the public sector unions. Let me give a shout out to California Labor Fed. Great job. Great job. However, this does not alleviate the demand for the governor to provide essential worker premium pay to Local 1000 represented employees. He's not off the hook. We still have over 17,000 petitions. We're still trying to schedule a meeting with him. Now, he doesn't have to give you anything. Listen to how I said this. It's not part of our contract. He does not have to pay essential worker premium pay. But he said that we were all in this together. He says that he cares about the welfare of state workers here in the state of California. He'll get his chance to show it. And this is the election year. The primaries in June, the general elections in November. He'll get a chance to show us how he values Local 1000 represented employees. He'll get that chance. Oh, yes, he will. And that's the same thing here. So I'm jumping ahead of the slides. All right. Now, this presentation is going to talk about my 10-point platform, DLC 744 President Bill Hall. Who is this person? Why is he trying to do these evil things? How has DLC 752 President Kevin Healy helped in this power grab? Along with the VP of Bargaining, Irene Green. Oh, you didn't know? Oh, you're going to find out tonight. I've been waiting, patiently waiting. Who do I represent? 2,634 voters? 37 voters, 2,637 voters. But I represent all of you. We did a survey about what's going on here with this lawsuit that DLC 744 President Bill Hall has filed against me. You're a duly elected Local 1000 president, the third president in Local 1000 history. The first two, Jim Hard and Yvonne Walker. But I'm the first black man. Not the first African American, but the first black man who's fighting the status quo. Who's fighting the status quo in the state of California. That's what I'm doing. Outspoken, unapologetic, unbossed. You see me, Shirley Chisholm? Do you see me, Shirley Chisholm? Okay. I know Black History Month is starting on the 1st of February. Okay. You keep thinking that. You keep thinking that. So, here we go. My commitment to transparency. Voter last approved DLC 744 President Bill Hall and DLC 786 President Teresa Taylor. We know who Teresa Taylor is. She's the one that told me to. Yeah, sure. Okay, great. Continue to request information to rationalize their power grab and illegal actions to oust President Brown. And listen to this. Disbar him from re-election. Remember I was telling you they're trying to run me out of office and to prevent me from running for re-election because they're afraid of me. They know I have the support of membership. The surveys tell you I have the support of the membership. They want to disbar me from re-election. They don't want to strip me of my presidential powers. They want to run me out of office. They want to rob you of your vote in this great country. And they did this illegal meeting at the Democratic headquarters on October 16th and 17th, 2021. Let's move on here. I've maintained my promise of transparency. On day one, I opened up the website. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, he says that I'm welcome. All right. On day one, that website was opened up. I've given you so much transparency, I've given you too much heaven. That's what I've done. I've given you too much heaven. You say more than a man, more than a woman. Well, not more than a woman. You can't beat women. But more than a man. I've given you my very, very best. You say, well, why is it the women are better than men? Well, the last time I checked, 3 squared is 9. And so every breath that I take, I look towards a woman and say, thank you. And by the way, our union is like 65% women, so I better. So anyway, moving on. So I'm trying to expose all the corruption and abuse in my mind over the last 13 years. Other people said there was no abuse. I would say $4,528 of a gift could possibly, maybe be abuse. Taking a trip to Israel, and we love Israel. We're pro-Israel and pro-Palestine. And we're pro your decision to choose any religion you want. I'm just saying. Now, we got this in black here. You see some of these letters are in black. We don't stereotype here in Local 1000. We got some fantastic board presidents and bunk chairs. Oh, yes, we do. Oh, yes, we do. Some, not so much. There's an air of hypocrisy when other board members invoke the policy file and bylaws to build an illegal case for their power grab, or should I say or, unlawfully interfere in negotiations with Local 1000, the UAW contract that was passed. UAW 2350, our staff here at Local 1000. Someone tried to interfere with that. And we're going to get to that here in a second. Get to that in a second here. My commitment to transparency, that's part of the reason why they're trying to run me out of here. I'll tell you everything, and then you can make an informed decision. You were never told anything from the past in those board meetings. You never had no videotapes. You never had a videotape of a board meeting. No, you did not. You never had any hope of what was going on in those board meetings. So let me look into the camera. As long as I'm the Local 1000 president, and I will be to June 30th, 2024, and then I'll run re-election, of course. Sure. I'm putting in the air right now. I will win re-election. That's why they're trying to disbar me and run me out of office, because they're afraid of me. Because evil people are always afraid of the righteous ones, especially when you have a divine destiny. Now, I'm going to continue to work with the staff here. And I'm going to read this to you. To our fullest extent, ability, and reasonable speed, I, along with our dedicated to service staff at Local 1000, will fulfill lawful and legal requests for information, even when the reason for those requests originate in an illicit power grab meant to overturn the will of voters. So a lot of times, some of the board of directors, these DLC presidents will ask for information, trying to say, gotcha. Remember when Teresa Taylor did that back in September? She didn't catch anything. If anything, we caught her. That $1,800 gift she got. But that was nice, Teresa. But you know, I'm not going to judge Teresa because this is 2022, and we don't get angry here in 2022. We stay positive. Oh, yes. We stay positive because we're going to get through this year, and I'm going to be your president. I'm not going anywhere. So here it is in writing. Bill Hall, Billy Hall, William Hall, whatever name he's going by, plaintiff and petitioner, pursuant to California Corporations Code 7223, California Code of Civil Procedure, Section 1060. Okay, all this code stuff. Listen to what he's trying to do. Listen to what this person who ran unopposed, never got not one vote in 2021 or 2018 or 2015. This is what this person is doing. He's from the Bay Area. That's where he works at or whatever. To remove defendant and respondent Richard Lewis Brown, a director and the president of the Union of California State Workers. That's our professional name. A nonprofit, mutual benefit corporation doing business as SAIU Local 1000. From his position as president, listen to this, they're going to remove me after I got elected. Remove me as president and director because of his fraudulent or dishonest acts and gross abuse of authority or discretion with reference to the corporation, and to bar him from re-election. And then you wonder why I said some of these people are possibly prejudiced or racist. You wonder why I've said that. Because God was telling me what was going on. And now you have it in writing. Now they filed this on January 12th with the Sacramento Superior Court. Now I haven't received anything. But this is what this individual was doing. So instead of him helping, instead of having 17,330 some essential worker premium pay petitions, do you think DLC President William Hall could have taken some time and said, hey guys, let's sign the essential worker premium pay petition? No. He's too busy filing lawsuits against me because he's mad because his person didn't win re-election. That's the hypocrisy of some of our board of directors. That's who they are. Now listen, we can still love them. It tells you, you love your enemies. You pray for them. And you do. But this is who he is. But he's not by himself. Just give me a second. But this person ran an election where he didn't get not one vote. But yet they tell you I only got 34% of the vote. And they try to criticize me for only getting that when there was a record number of candidates that ran for Local 1000 president in 2021. It was 5 of them. 5 of them, including myself. 34%, please. And 3 and 4 is 7. Now, I told you. Those numbers, 7437, have a powerful meaning. Those are my numbers. And 7437 tells you 21, the year I won. Took a third time. Now, some people say I won in 2018. Well, we'll let it go. So, this is what this person is doing. A person who's never gotten a vote in his entire life. People in this building don't even know who he is. In fact, if you notice, people that call in, why doesn't this individual ever call in and speak to me in front of everyone? Because he's afraid. Because he doesn't have the Robert Rules of Order to manipulate, to hustle, to deceive, to bamboozle. That's why he won't call in. He's too afraid to face me in front of everyone. He is afraid. Now, I'm not going to call Bill Hall a coward or a chicken. See, that's what DLC former president 767 Richard Wake, he called me a chicken and a coward. But so I'm not going to turn around and call Bill Hall a chicken or a coward. Now, maybe he is. I don't know. But what I do know is he won't come on this Zoom on Wednesday night and confront me. You know why? Because when you tell that many lies over and over and over again, you've seen me go to work on people, live, unscripted, unedited. And when they tell you, well, he has to look at all his paperwork so he knows what he's saying. Am I looking at any paperwork right now? I told you I'm well rested tonight. I feel good tonight. I told you. Feel good. Tim Draper, see ya. Sick leave for COVID, we're getting it back. And y'all say I'm not effective. Please. Oh, yes, I am effective. I'm the one that's doing the talking. I'm the one that's putting the pressure on people. This person here, Bill Hall, who's he working for? Is he working? Wait a minute. Maybe he's working with the Freedom Foundation. Maybe that's what's going on. He wants to destroy the union and put the union back to how he wants it to be, which is the same status quo that the voters rejected in this election. Ooh, boy, I'm preaching tonight. I'm feeling it tonight. Oh, VP of Bargaining, Irene Green. Oh, I've been waiting on this. Now, I like Irene. She knows me from, gosh, June 8th, 2009. We started ADD San Jose Pack 0145. I know her, she knows me. But this is who she is. The transcript from the board meeting that we never had a chance to view, because they do things in secret when they conspire. They're like the, back in the Roman days, they get around, they conspire, then they poison somebody. I guess I better watch when I'm drinking here at Local 1000. They may poison me, I don't know. Here she is. This is Irene Green, Vice President of Bargaining. I don't know that this is the right direction to take. Our members took part in a democratic process, and they voted. As a result of that vote, unfortunately, Richard Lewis Brown has won that presidency. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Okay. I'm going to be honest. Please do. And tell you that I do not believe this man should be in presidency right now. But who died and made you God, Irene Green? Who died and made you God? Did Vincent Green tell you to write that or say that? Oh, I'm waiting on you. Oh, I'm waiting on you. And then they get mad because in order to protect the voters' voices, to protect the union, to protect the staff, I had to not allow her to come inside the building after she makes comments like this. I don't know what Irene Green would do. I fear for my life, and I'm being honest. If a person would say this on a transcript, then what else are they doing off transcript? The things that he is doing is against everything I believe as a vice president of bargaining, as a union steward, and as a member of the state of California. Oh, really? Everything I'm doing? So I'm fighting for those jobs for CCC in Lansing County? Oh, that's wrong? Because I'm giving you information about who ran for the 2 CalPERS positions? That's wrong? Because I'm saying that we should have a 2-term limit for all elected positions so you can eliminate the idea, the possibility of cronyism, of fraud, of corruption. Because I'm saying we should be financially transparent and we shouldn't be giving a blank check to these politicians. Is that what she's talking about? Or does she not just like me because I beat out Yvonne Walker? If I was carrying a grudge, then why would I let Yvonne Walker, the former president of 13 years, come and swear this individual in? If I was so petty. But I'm not petty. And Yvonne Walker swore her in. And then she turns around, says these types of things on the 16th. Hold on, I ain't done. I told you I'm feeling it tonight. I ain't done. Then, let's continue on with her comments. But is this the way we need to do this? I'm not entirely sure. Oh, you're not sure about the voting process of Local 1000? Then why did you run for it? And you wasn't Yvonne Walker's first choice anyway. Yeah, I said it. We talking tonight. Go on and call if you want to. See, you've laid the hammer down when you said this, Irene Green. I'm not entirely sure, which is why I asked this conversation, why I asked for the explanation, why I have asked to have this information on discussion so that we can get to a point of understanding how, at this point, to achieve what we need to achieve. But what the heck do you need to achieve, Irene Green? And I supported you. I said, you should have been recognized as the VP of bargaining the first time you won. It was not your fault. You had to run a second time. And I supported you. But this is the love that I get back? Sounds like a tragedy to me. Now, someone said, well, Richard, don't be so angry. I'm not angry. I'm passionate. Now, I could sing a song, how do you mend a broken heart? I'll tell you how you mend a broken heart. I told you I'm feeling it tonight. Tell you how you mend a broken heart, Irene Green. Why don't you make an apology to me for disrespecting me, for trying to strip me of my powers as the president, because I was duly elected? Why don't you, for once, be more than a woman and apologize? But not just to me. Apologize to all the voters. That's who you should be apologizing to. Listen to this. Then she has the audacity on the 16th of October. We don't have a plan to back this up. We don't have the majority of the member buy-in for what the board wants to do. For what the board wants to do? You mean some of the board wants to do? Because the entire board is not with you, Irene Green. And they showed you that, those few who went to this meeting. They showed you how they felt about you. I don't see that this is going to create a way of uniting our union. You got that right. By way of putting this in operation. In my opinion, it's going to divide us even more. You got that right. It is going to divide us more. But the question is, how can you divide what was already divided? Because you never had a union to begin with. Hallelujah, praise God through Jesus Christ. Talking to you tonight. And I'm in a good mood. Fantastic mood. Because I've been waiting. See, I sit back on people. See, you think that I'm always so reactionary. I'm so emotional. No, I sit back. I told you this a long time ago. Now I'm going to expose you. I've been sitting on this information for a long time. Because at some point, we have to get back to unity. Really? So when you want to get back to unity, Irene Green, give your apology. Give your apology. And then we can talk about us working together for SBAC and all the other things. Because right now, I can't trust you. How do you trust someone who says these types of things in writing, and she doesn't even say, hey, hold on a second. I didn't say that. They misquoted my words. She never came out and said that. This transcript, bingo, this whole PowerPoint presentation is on our website. The minutes is on the website. She didn't come out and say, oh, no. You know, they got it all wrong. I didn't say it like that. You know, I didn't mean that. Oh, whatever. Whatever. And you know what? See, the truth comes out on people. And I know one day, her and I and Vincent Green will sit down. I can take on 2, I can take on 15. But the truth is in me, and I know this. And that's why I'm not afraid to take on anybody, anytime, 7 days a week. Put your game face on, you come for this. With love, sure. Here we go, October 17th. So she said all this on the 16th. They didn't have enough people. They still didn't have enough people on the 17th. In their minds, they had 34 people, whatever. Now, here she goes. Yet Irene Green firmly believes in evilness and division because she still runs for the illegal chair of the board for Local 1000 on the following righteous day, Sunday. You commit an unrighteous act on Sunday? Oh my goodness. Ooh-wee! I mean, you can pull some stunts, but can't you keep the Sabbath halfway holy? You can't even get that done right. So here we go. This is how the board felt about you, those who went to this illegal insurrectionist meeting. 18 for Bill. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 for Irene. That had that little number 20 there. That should have been taken out. That's just the note number. on the minutes. Motion carries. Sorry, Irene. You went to the illegal meeting and you still fell short. You wanted to gather information, but no, you wanted the power. And so some of the people who went said, oh no, you're not good enough. And that's what they did to you. Yeah. Moving on. A lawful election needs to be upheld. Listen to this. A lawful election needs to be upheld. Then why are you trying to remove me from office then? Is it because of the money? Is it because of no financial spending? Is it that? No financial spending in politics. Why are you trying to remove me from office? Why do you portray me as being angry, violent? And then you say that I'm wrong for saying that there's a strong possibility you're prejudiced or racist, or you have ideas and feelings that people who are prejudiced and racist exhibit on a daily basis. You cannot respect the election of Local 1000. That's who some of you are. But we can still build our membership. You know why? Because people want to see how much I can go through. They want to know, how much can Richard put up with? How does he maintain his professionalism? Because God put me here. God put me here. And I'm not leaving until God says. Now it tells you that you have to respect the laws of the land. Oh, absolutely. You must respect the laws of the land. But them laws came from righteous laws. This world is still controlled by God. 34%. And there's the 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 other candidates. And I pulled down 34%. Beat the incumbent who had never lost an election. 2008, 2011, 2015, 2018, she was unbeatable, invincible. Give her respect. So it takes one to know one. In order to take out a champion, you must be a champion. And I know I'm a champion. You'll catch on. You will catch on. You can follow all these lawsuits and run around and tell all these propaganda lies, and I'm still going to fight for us. We're going to still make it Local 1000. Oh, yes, we are. I don't feel guilty about anything. I don't feel sorry about anything. I keep asking you, how deep is your love? See, I know how deep my love is. I didn't give up. I didn't give up on this union. I didn't give up on this country. I didn't give up on the fact on how, quote, my family's ancestors got over here. Now, I know how deep my love is. Question is, how deep is your love? How deep is your love for voting in America? How deep is it? I need to know. Now, check this out. 55% 2005 Jim Hart. 2008, we don't know. 2011, Yvonne Walker won handily, almost 57%. Who did she take on? One other person. She beat him into the ground. And I respect Tim Cheney, but she beat him. Now, some people say, hey, we don't trust these election results. Interesting. She won again in 2015. That's when I got involved. I was a nobody then. And then another person ran, so that was a 3-man race. Or should I say a 1-man and 2 women. 2018, 3 people once again. But this time, I was coming. I was at Barack Obama in 2018. Pretty brown skin, I was always perfect. But I lost. I lost. She won with 38%. That ain't no mandate. Her mandate was over after 2015. It was over. She should have walked in 2018. This election, there was 5 people, including myself. That is a great number, 34%. And 3 and 4 is 7. 7 days to start life, 7 days to end life. You better recognize who I am. I'm speaking with power and authority. You can laugh, you can criticize, you can demonize me, all that you want. I am not going anywhere. You cannot break me. Total cast. Now this is even more important. 7,384 votes in 2005. 2008, we don't know. 2011, huge turnout. 8,000, got almost 9,000 votes. Now listen to this. After 2011, it's a wrap. People lost interest in this union. Now maybe a lot of the people of the older generation retired. Possibly. 2015, only 4,475 people voted. No one gave a doggone in 2015. But I told you I was coming in 2018. I tried in 2015, but no, my mind was made up in 2018. And you can see that force I came with. 7,230. And then finally, 7,766. This is your second highest voter turnout in local 1,000 history. But they tell you that this election didn't mean anything. That's a lie. They lie, they lie, they lie. You say, well, how's this going to help us build membership? You cannot build membership off lies. Because your foundation is not solid. You need solid ground. Solid ground when you build your house on righteousness. Your ground can't be built on sand. It can't be rainy. Because your house will fall apart. And it almost fell apart right here in 2015. But no. We're still going to be okay. This is what this tells you. And what they're trying to do right now, this DLC 744 President Bill Hall, with this lawsuit to remove me from office and disbar me from re-election, what he's telling you is they cannot respect the fact that their candidate did not win. And they'll do any trick in the book that they can to justify removing me from office. They'll say any lie. They'll tell me to go and do such and such with men. They'll say anything they can. Anything they can. They'll tell you I'm working with the Freedom Foundation. They'll tell you I'm spending money left and right. And I'm not doing any of that garbage. Here it is. 2-way, 3-way, 4-way. That was a 4-way? Nah, that was a 3-way. No, you know what? No, that's my fault. I forgot. That was a 4-way in 2015. Mish Block Sherrills ran. I forgot all about her. Somehow her name just left my memory blank. I don't know why. Moving on. But this was the historical race, the 5-way race. 5 ways. Because I didn't give up. See, they wanted me to give up. They kept saying, he ran in 2015, he ran in 2018, don't mess with him. It's funny because we know people who run in elections. Some people run 5 times and lose. Oh, the smarty people. Why? The entrenched status quo political power hates change. Well, in order to create a new culture, you got to put a new person in. Okay? So, why are a few of the board of directors, along with the international, trying to strip President Brown of his powers, remove him from his duly elected position by the voters, along with disbar him from re-election? You know what the real reason is? Hatred. Hatred, hypocrisy. It doesn't help that I'm black. It doesn't help that I'm fighting for people in Lassen County. It doesn't help that I'm fighting against these politicians. I'm not bending over and doing whatever they tell us to do. I'm not acting like an obedient child because I'm nobody's child. Well, I'll take that back. I am somebody's child. Jenny! You'll never die. All right, Jenny. All right, so moving on. The pledge and the 10-point platform. This is what got me in trouble. The month of July, number 7, and the 27th of 2020. And I wrote this. It was my promise. Independence from SEIU International in political spending. No more than 2 term limits, no salary stipends. More members' dues for job representation and negotiations. It should say all of the members' dues. Build and use a strike fund. No side letters that cut state employees' paychecks. I missed something on here. No job loss. Someone says, well, Richard, we cannot accept the fact that we think they're trying to run you out solely for the fact that you're black. What's the underlying message behind that? The strike. When I tell you we're going to make U.S. history, we're going to shut down the 4th largest economy on earth, we're going to shut the state of California down after we bargain in good faith and we reach a legal impasse. When I tell you that, you know what I'm telling you? That I'm a dangerous man. I'm a dangerous man and I'm a threat to the status quo. You must eliminate Richard Lewis Brown from the scene. You got to get him out of there. We cannot take a chance on him building hope, creating a culture where the people are motivated to shut the state of California down to the ground. Moving on. So, 10-point platform. Yeah. Eliminate the 3.5% OPEB. That's a big one. We should never started paying that to begin with because you were lied to. You were manipulated. Create trust and accountability through videotaping the entire voting process. That's another problem. Create the strike fund. Lengthy contract negotiations. They didn't like when I said hire a team of college-educated, experienced professionals to help with labor negotiations. For a substantial compensation, 21% pay increase. They don't want you to get a 21% pay increase. They don't care about you. Well, who's they? Some of the people on the board who are in collusion in a deeper conspiracy with politicians to keep you in your place. Remember when Gavin told you, Governor Gavin Newsom said, hey, it was in 2020, he said, stay home. The COVID's out of control. He was at the French Laundry. Remember that? Well, maybe you forgot. No big deal. You know, we can easily forgive the governor. We all make mistakes in life, right? Mm-hmm. You make mistakes, haven't you, in your life? Okay. I'll make mistakes in my life. We all make mistakes, and sometimes we have to ask people to forgive us. All you have to say, Irene Green, is, I'm sorry, Richard. That's all you have to say, Teresa Taylor. I'm sorry. But Teresa, you know, I have a feeling that, Teresa, you can't say sorry for nothing you've done in your life. Teresa. That's just who you are, Teresa Taylor. Bill Hall. Wow, I guess we're going to be stuck here. Let's see. I guess we're stuck on this 10-point platform. We can't go forward here? Oh, you trying to get to the remote? Yeah. What's going on here now? This is live. We're supposed to be scripted. Oh, gosh. Well, this is the first time this has happened. I guess it's a sign from God. Yo, stop right here. I guess. Well, we'll talk about it then. Let's see if this works now. The GO paid the COLA for everyone. 21% pay increase for everyone across the table. A clean election. Stop the OPEB, the strike fund. That must be the most important stuff. All right, now look. I had been in office 37 work days. I can't make these numbers up. 7437. There's your number 37. Before this individual, Bill Hall, petitioned me for an emergency board meeting. And he didn't petition me correctly. He still hasn't petitioned me correctly. In his mind, he thinks he did. No, he didn't. But 37 work days. That tells you they had no intention, some of the board had no intention of ever working with me. Never, ever. That's what that tells you. They didn't care about you getting your essential worker premium pay. They didn't care about getting a great telework agreement. They were only focused on removing me from office by going on Facebook, telling anybody that would listen all the lies they could muster about me. That's what they were focused on. They were not focused on you, your wife, your husband, your children. They were not focused on you, and they're still not focused on you. They don't care about you going to work in an unsafe work environment. They do not care. Because if they did, they wouldn't be pulling a stunt like this. By the way, remember the LAPS program that was shut down in March of 2020? You remember that? Oh, you forgot that. Oh, okay. So that program got shut down in March of 2020. That's when the pandemic kicked off and people started working from home. That's not when you shut down your steward program for new stewards. That's when you really want to increase it. Because you need more job stewards at the work site because of these bad behaving, egotistical, self-serving supervisors. That's when you need more job stewards. Why was it shut down in March of 2020? What was Annika Walls doing back then? She was doing her job. What was, more importantly, what was Kevin Miniger doing back then? He does a lot of talking on Facebook. What was he doing? Oh, they weren't allowed to do anything. But now Annika Walls can do a great job as our re-elected VP of Organizing Representation, and our VP Secretary Treasurer, David Jimenez, can do also a great job. Because I don't shut them down. Maybe that's why Kevin Miniger's, I don't know, maybe that's why he's so bitter. Started back up on June 30th. Listen to this. 185 new stewards, and we reinstated 32. Grand total, 217 stewards since the time I started. 217 job stewards in work sites. And they tell you I'm not doing anything. That's a lie. Lie. That's what they do. They lie. I guess we can say they lie with love. That's not the love I want. I can tell you that. But that's what they're doing. So 217 stewards, been here 7 months. That's 31 stewards a month. So in other words, for every day of the month, we got a steward. An average, a monthly average, a steward a day. But they tell you I'm not doing anything. They tell you they got to disbar me. They got to run me out of this union. That's what they're telling you. That's a lie. And they've been lying to you from the time before I was even sworn in. They were saying, what do we have to do to get him out of office? You know what's the smartest move I made since I was elected president? You know what the smartest move was? The emergency board meeting for the people in Lansing County. And you saw how they wouldn't give me a quorum. They wouldn't give me a quorum. They wouldn't allow me to conduct business. And I told you then what their mindset was. And all we wanted to do was set $2 million aside for food, housing, child care, for those at the California Correctional Center, CCC, in case they were able to shut that prison down. And we would have easily put that money aside to help all the prisons. And that $2 million, you cannot tell me that the people in CCC, the people in Lansing County, would not been willing, more than willing, to share that money with other people who were going to be displaced from their jobs. Except the exception is shutting CCC down would have destroyed Lansing County. And I told Lansing County, I love you. I told you that. And I'm still saying that. And I spoiled Lansing County Pacific for the ocean, for Pacific Ocean. But it has a deeper symbolic meaning, Lassen County. Now, that LAPS program, we call it Fast Track, it's been started back up on day one that I started. And it should have never ended. And we shouldn't even have a LAPS program. Anybody who wants to be a job steward should be able to be a job steward. Implementing my vision, videotaping the board of directors meetings. Pivoted on October 1st, the union, towards board representation. And stopped the political partisan-based spending. Fought against Governor Newsom, against the mandatory vaccinations. We should have this voted. I don't know why I missed that. Mandatory vaccinations. Do you remember when he wanted everybody to be vaccinated and we fought him back? Do you remember? I do. That was a victory. Now, did we get it for the healthcare workers? Boy, we tried. Couldn't quite pull that stunt. Not yet. But he wanted everyone to be vaccinated off a drug that we don't know the long-term consequences. And we fought and we won. In case you need to be reminded. So stop sending me emails saying, well, Richard, you don't tell us about all the things you've done so far. Because I don't like to brag. But since you want to talk tonight, okay, how deep is your love? I told you, I don't feel guilty about anything I've done since I've arrived here. Not one single thing. How deep is your love? This ain't no tragedy that I'm here this evening. Have a few nights on Broadway. Now look here. Local 1,000 staff hadn't had a pay increase since what, 2006? Hold on a second. I can't make this up. You call yourself a labor union, and you won't even give your staff who has a union a pay increase. But y'all tell me I'm the one that's out of pocket. You tell me that I'm the one that's crazy. No, I'm not crazy. No, I'm not crazy and I'm not a hypocrite. They got a 14% pay increase over 3 years. And some of you are so jealous with evilness in your heart. Well, they got a 14%, but we didn't get anything. Because you ain't had no real leader. Now I'm here. Relax. We're going to get this money. Oh, yes, we will. Yes, we can. Be positive. Think positive. Don't lose the faith. Don't stop believing. We're going to be more transparent. We all know that. Now, I call them the loving, hateful eight opposition. We're already starting to politically plan and work to cause division and destruction against, me. This organized chaos and controversy was strategically devised to prevent me from fulfilling my promise to the voters by implementing my vision and my 10-point platform. This is the timeline. It's long, a lot of dates. A lot of dates. We may come back to this here in a second. 33 unopposed DLC presidents. And remember, I said we got some good presidents on the board and some good bunk chairs. But these 33 ran unopposed. 21 had to compete, including statewide officers. 21. 4 statewide officers, 17. There is your number, 7437. And I keep telling y'all, y'all keep laughing at me. These numbers have power. 21 had to compete, starting with myself. I think I pulled down the most votes. Now, these 8 presidents are trying to suppress the vote of the membership. And then this president Kevin Healy, we'll talk about him in a second. Hold on one second here. So we got Robert Gilbert, Bill Hall, of course, Jerome Washington, 749, Pelican Bay. DLC 768 Beth Bartell, she was fraudulently representing herself as a DLC president. No, I'm saying it now. I'm saying it, and I have the proof on you, Beth Bartell. You were misrepresenting yourself. And so when they talk about remove me from office for gross acts, and this person knew that her worksite was leaving her DLC, she should not have run for president in 768. She ran anyway. That's her, quote, credibility, her honesty. Here's our Teresa Taylor, Francina Stevenson, Ruth Kiker. Yeah, these individuals. They want to ignore your voice. They want to suppress your vote. That's what these individuals, Robert Gilbert, Bill Hall, Jerome Washington, Beth Bartell, Teresa Taylor, Francina Stevenson, Ruth Kiker, that's what they're trying to do. Remember when this individual, Jerome Washington, tried to call and ask about the resignation of the former CFO? He tried to act all snobby and arrogant. But yet, he's trying to silence your voice as a voter. That's who he is. In fact, did he even run against anybody? No. He didn't get no votes. These so-called wannabe leaders with their pious, righteous, proclaiming, soft-spoken nonsense. Moving on. Oh, now here we go with Kevin Healy. Told you I've been waiting for tonight. Mr. Kevin Healy, unfair labor practice complaint was filed against him. He tried to interfere with the UAW contract ratification process. Yeah, that's who he is. That's who he is. You don't have to go back to 2012. This is who this individual is. We call it vexatious, moral turpitude. He's... Oh, Kevin. Something about being called Kevin. I guess it comes with territory. Oh, no, I'm going to talk about him. Because this is who he is. And then they had a settlement agreement. But this is who this DLC 752 President Kevin Healy is. So when they try to come on these Zooms, and they try to act professional, that's just an act. They don't care about you. He was trying to sabotage the contract with UAW, telling them that we can get you more money. But we don't want to, work with Richard right now. We're trying to get him out of office, and then we'll get you a contract. That's what he was telling them. Let's go back for a second here, because I really want to lay this out. Hold on here. Here he is, August 30th, 434. Can't make these numbers up. Kevin Healy called me. This is a staff employee. He wanted to know if we can guarantee a yes vote for the UAW contract. Wait a minute. He wanted to know if we can guarantee a yes vote for the UAW contract ratification by the board of directors. Would UAW support us delaying the board meeting to the following week to enable them to add a second agenda item to strip Richard Brown of his authority as the president? Okay? Now I'm talking to you tonight, Kevin Healy. See, you want to run around and act like you know everything and threaten to sue people. But this is what was said about you on September 1st. Delay the board meeting to the following week to enable them, who's them? Bill Hall, Teresa Taylor, Robert Gilbert, Jerome Washington, to add a second agenda item, listen to this, to add a second agenda item to strip Richard Brown of his authority as the president. He stated at this time they could not guarantee a yes vote unless I agreed to support delaying the meeting. That's who he is, Kevin Healy. Kevin, that's who you are. How How are you building membership? How are you inspiring people to be part of Local 1000 with this kind of conduct? I need to know, Kevin Healy, what kind of magician are you? Who are you fooling, Kevin Healy? A settlement agreement was reached with the National Labor Relations Board. We posted all this information up on all of our Local 1000 work sites. And it's up on our website as well. You know why I do that? Because sometimes you have to air out your dirty laundry. You have to tell the truth. And when these people are lying about me and my behavior, and they talk about my videos and how I'm so unprofessional and I'm this and that, this is who they are. This is who they are. $655 people took the survey. Were you informed or questioned about DLC 744 President Bill Hall's baseless lawsuit and attempt to remove President Brown from office, disbar him from re-election, and Mr. Hall's coordinated efforts with other leaders to silence the will of the voters? Yes, not quite 20%. No, 81%. 81% had no clue what this man was doing. Are we surprised? We shouldn't be. Bill Hall could walk down the street right now, nobody would know who he is. You wouldn't even know who this man is. Let me walk down the street, I bet you know who I am. Well, you know what? I take that back, because you may see another African-American man about my height, my description, and you may say, well, that's Richard. Oh, wait, no, that's Richard. Remember that movie Out of Time? When they thought that Denzel had burnt the house down or whatever, and the lady came to the police station, and she pointed at Denzel, and then she looked over to another black man? Yeah, okay. Now, 652 power grab survey results. 652 were asked, should it be required that any substantial changes to the structure or operations of Local 1000 be ratified by membership? Well, 86% said yes, because we're a member-ran union, not a member-ran republic. 14% said no, I like things the way they are. I bet you do. I bet you do. 652 said, should legal action be taken against Mr. Bill Hall and his supporters who are attempting to silence the voice of the voters by removing President Brown and barring him from re-election? 652 responded. Are you ready? 82% said, take legal action. Now, why would they say that? Probably because he's trying to take action against me. I don't know. What's fair is fair. If you come to remove someone from their job that they were elected by the voters, do you think the voters are going to sit back and let you do that? The voters may say, no, we want to remove you. Now, we're a family. We don't want to see no one lose their job. We are a family. But some of our family members, I don't know. You know, you have the family reunion. You say, oh, yeah, we're going to invite the whole family. But some of your cousins you hope don't show up. You're praying that, you know, their money ain't right. And you keep saying, yeah, I'm going to send you the check in the mail. But you know you ain't sending that money. You see, you're laughing. But you know you have family members on your mom or your dad's side that you really don't care for, but somehow they're in your ancestry tree, so you have to put on them airs like you love them, but deep down inside, you don't. These people are saying we should take action against Mr. Bill Hall for the action that he's taken to silence the voice of the voters of Local 1000. All right. The summary. Second largest turnout, Local 1000 history. I won the election. With your support, thank you. Bill Hall, baseless lawsuit, Kevin Healy, Irene Green, and her angst against the voters for electing President Brown. But once again, our people took the survey. Survey says we support President Brown. Now, that took a minute. And you know what? I'm in a great mood tonight. I am so happy that they filed their baseless, senseless, illogical lawsuit. Because now they've had to tell on themselves. And they're telling you that they don't care about your vote. They don't care about you. They don't care about the union. The only thing they care about is running me out of office and disbarring me from re-election. What they're telling you is they're so afraid. They're so afraid of who I am and what I stand for that they're going to remove me from office. They told you I went to the day spa. They went to the day spa. They told you I'm not building the membership, but I'm being transparent. And I'm admitting the mistakes that our union has made over the years. So we can build membership. That's what I'm doing. You know, you should be thanking me that not all of you are vaccinated. You should, but you won't. But you don't have to. This is a thankless job. But I'm going to keep fighting and fighting the way I arrived on earth, the way I was created. See, some people are created for confusion. They're created to create chaos, trouble, evilness. That's what some people are created. So when you have the blessing from God through Jesus Christ to do something greater with your life than what the other person was created to do, that's why it's called a blessing. Do you think that I wanted to do this job? I didn't choose this job. God said, this is what you're going to do. And I'm not going to let you lose that passion, that determination that's always on the edge, always on the edge. Because that's why I created you. Because I know you won't steal people's money. Now, you may go get your shirts pressed up, get your hair cut. Now, that I will do. But I won't steal your money. I won't lie to you. I won't tell you that the governor, Gavin Newsom, will pay us the essential worker premium pay. I won't guarantee you that because he has sole power. If he was going to pay the money, he would have paid it a long time ago. But that doesn't mean we lose hope. That doesn't mean we stop trying. We keep pushing forward. Now, some people said, tell us your detailed plan on how to build membership. I don't have to tell you my detailed plan over Facebook. No, the heck I don't. You must think I'm stupid. Tell you the detailed plan on how we're going to increase membership so the state can sit back and evaluate the plan and say, okay, this is how we'll counteract it? Do you think I'm stupid? Look, I may be from Missouri, and I may be country, and I'm not as cultivated and civilized as California people. But there's something wrong here in California. Something about common sense and reality. I think y'all been watching too much reality TV. Y'all been boosting up Kim Kardashian or whatever. No disrespect, because Kim's a millionaire. I wish Kim would call me. She would have to date Pete Davidson. So look, yeah, well, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. I bet when she calls the governor, she gets a conversation. Yeah, you say all you want. But I'm just being honest. What's that old rap song? I'm just being honest, just whatever. Anyway, look. I had to expose these people, and they finally have exposed their hand. They put in this baseless lawsuit. They're trying to remove me from office. No, not strip me of my presidential powers. They want to remove me from office and then disbar me from re-election because they know I will win again. So when they tell you I only won 34% of the vote, then why are they so concerned about me running again? Because they know I'll win. That's what they know. And they can continue to go on Facebook and say all these lies that they want. Here's what I know. You're not vaccinated if you're not healthcare, you're not vaccinated. You're welcome. The sick leave will be restored 2 weeks. The first week for free. The second week you have to test positive for COVID. Starting January 1st, once 2022, once they go through all the process and the governor signs it. That's what I know. Tim Draper, whatever. He never had a game plan to begin with. I told you to not overreact to him, and they kept saying, well, we have to fight Tim Draper. We have to do this, and we have to do that. We have to do anything. How did I know that? Because of my gift. And once you walk in faith, then the science will come. The numbers will come. But first you must walk in faith. And sometimes everything's not going to make sense right away. I told you I was feeling it tonight. All right, let's have some fun. Now, when we're going to take these calls, we're going to stay positive. Now, I'm going to say something to y'all. If you come talking that talk, I'm going to get back at you. You've been duly warned, and I'm going to say it with a smile, and I may be passive-aggressive, but if you come acting funny, I'm going to get funny right back with you. You've been warned. First caller, Frank Askin. Go ahead, Frank.
Hey, Richard, good evening. Just a couple of quick comments. Okay, so now you're on here preaching and everything, so if you're a man of faith, I would like for you to please go ahead and free the ban on Mr. Michael Gus. I mean, this country was born on freedom of speech, First Amendment rights. And we do have the freedom of speech, so it wasn't right to ban Mr. Gus. And then second of all, that survey that we've been filling out online, how is that survey coming out? Do you have any numbers to report back to us about the lawsuit?
So, Frank, I'll take your last question. We just talked about it. 652 people have been responding about what Bill Hall is trying to do. And here, I'll go back to that slide. 80% was like, take action against him for what he's doing. Maybe you missed the slide. Here, I'll go back to it here because I want you to know. Hold on one second here. So here we go. Were you informed about Bill Hall's baseless lawsuit? 81% said no. Then it asked, should it be required that any substantial changes to the structure or operations of Local 1000 be ratified by membership? 86% said yes. And then, should legal action be taken against Bill Hall and his supporters who are attempting to silence the voice of the voters by removing President Brown and barring him from re-election? 82% said yes, take action against him. Now, let me get to your first question about Michael Gus, because that's a great point, Frank. So people don't like to be censored, and I don't believe in censorship either. Other people say that they're tired of hearing Michael Gus come on here with all his negativity and all his lies and propaganda, because that's what he does. So do we continue to let people come on Wednesday night, Local 1000 listens to you, and tell their lies and propaganda? Or should Michael Gus run for president, and then he can have his own Local 1000 listens to you? Those are some tough questions. Michael Gus has come on and repeatedly said that I need to be removed from office. If he didn't say those exact words, then forgive me, but he has led people to believe that I should be removed from office. But yet in the same hand, he wants me to appoint him to be a job steward. So I'm confused. Maybe his illusions of grandeur are the same illusions that Kevin Manager has. Maybe they're working together. Maybe he should contact Kevin Manager, and then they can figure out their game plan. But thanks for your call, Frank. I'm always here. Next caller, Angela Pruitt. Good evening, Angela.
Hey, President Brown, how are you tonight?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking. You did a great job tonight. Just want to commend you on that.
Thank you.
Kudos to you for getting that COVID extended pay for people. So my question is, number one is, so you said that they're still working everything out and signing everything. So let's just say if you had COVID in between January the 1st and now, will you be able to go back where you have used your personal sick time? Can you go back and ask them for that pay?
Now, that answer should be yes. But until they until both houses sign off on it and the governor puts his signature on it,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say 1,000%. I'll say 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But-
That's fine. I
Yeah.
understand that you really don't have all logistics of it yet. I'm just
Well, the
that
key-
was a question I was asking because
Right.
it said as of January the 1st.
Right.
So say someone caught COVID
Mm-hmm.
January the 15th and they were out for like a whole week, would they be able to go back and claim that time back?
And I want to say yes, but until they sign it and put it all in writing, they've already made the agreement that they're going to bring back these 2 weeks. 1 week for sure, and then the second week you have to test positive, show a positive test of COVID to get that second week. And you should not have to use any other time if you have these symptoms, that this COVID relief should take care of that. Now, that's the way,
Okay,
that's the
so-
message that was relayed to me. Okay.
Okay, because you say that someone tested, they tested positive, say January the 13th or the 14th, then they were out like the next week. Was no point of going back taking another COVID test because it's just going to come out positive again. So that part right there, we're not sure, but I guess they'll clean all that up in a minute.
You know what? And I don't want to talk about the testing results because we already know different agencies are using different testing methods. And so part of our settlement agreement in August was that we could still grieve if we felt that those tests were not correct, if they were not administered correctly. So I know a lot of people have strong feelings about how these tests are being administered. And we've already submitted some grievances.
Oh, okay.
I guess the big deal was when it came out, people were asking me, "Is this true?" And the answer is absolutely yes. This is true. An informal agreement was reached between the administration and the public sector unions, and then we give a shout out to the California Labor Federation. They were instrumental,
Okay.
along with SIU State Council as well. So
Okay,
all these different labor federations and unions were putting the pressure on this issue, which, it's unfortunate that the unions had to put this pressure on the governor because this is something that he should have done automatically. So when you really care about people and you have love in your heart, they shouldn't have to beg you for essential worker premium pay or beg you for COVID sick relief. That should be a no-brainer. When you have quoted a few weeks ago $31 billion in surplus, and this is like the second or third year in a row we've had surplus in billions of dollars, this should not be an issue. This is something that should be done with no hesitation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and second question is, have they, you heard anything from HR or anyone about the teleworking agreement yet, or is that still in negotiation, or do we have any kind of?
No, we don't have any type of new news. We're still in negotiations. And,
Okay.
the state, we put up our negotiations back and forth between us and the state. That's the first time it's ever been done in Local 1000 history. We put up what they were saying and what we were saying so that everyone can make an informed opinion about what we were doing. And they were insistent that we take $50 for those remote centered and $25 for those who were office centered. And that was going to be taxed. And we said, no, you're not going to make us take these little breadcrumbs and then tell us that we're all in this together. No, we're going to negotiate for the best deal, which means we're not just going to settle for anything that they, quote, want to give us.
Okay.
Okay.
And last comment I have, this is a comment, not a question, is that I want to thank you so much for cutting out all the riffraff with all these people getting on with the negativity, because members really don't want to come on and hear all of that. And I don't know why Frank feels like he always got to be the spokesperson and Captain Save-Ho about anybody that you decide you're going to censor. He needs to move on with that and just speak for himself and let them come on and say what they have to say with some sense. If they don't have no sense like Michael Gus always doing, you did absolutely right. I'm behind you 100%. And if he continues to do it, he'll censor his ass too.
You know what, Angela Pruitt? A lot of people feel just like you. You know, I'm always torn on that because I like people to run their mouth and come at me with everything they got. My only catch is this. When you run and say all these mean and hateful lies about me, when I come back at you and I get in your chest, don't you start crying. Don't you start saying, well, you know, you're the president of Local 1000, so you can't talk to me like that. If you looking for one, you're going to find one. So,
well, first of all, most of them that are speaking out with all the negativity and all the hoopla that they're speaking, they didn't say any of that mess with Yvonne Walker.
That's right.
So they're lucky to even be on here. But when they start that, you should do just what you did. Mute their asses and move on.
You know what? I think a lot of times I'm going to do that. But you know, we want those Michael Gusses and individuals like him to expose themselves, even though we already know what they're about. And now that we know in writing about Bill Hall and Kevin Healy, see, now it's easy for me to tell people, I'm not telling you what I think, I'm telling you what's in writing about these individuals. They're telling you speculations, and they've tried to say that I've done all these things wrong, which is their subjective opinion. But what I'm telling you factually is they're trying to remove me from office and disbar me from re-election. So that tells you the fear that Michael Guss and Bill Hall and Teresa Taylor and Ruth Kiker and that Jerome Washington up there in Pelican Bay, all these so-called wannabe leaders. And I say so-called because they tell you they're a leader, but yet they're trying to, quote, destroy this union because they're destroying the voice of the voters. This is what they're doing. But let me stop here. Let me stop. All right, so let me go to the next caller. Elizabeth Windward. Good evening, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, can you please unmute?
Hi, yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, loud and clear.
Oh, great. Thank you for taking the time to talk to all of us tonight. I'm just a regular union member. I have been since I began state service in 2009. So I have been ignorant to a lot of the goings on, but I tuned in tonight because I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the health of the union, and I'm concerned about the public fighting. And I don't blame you at all for standing up for yourself and doing what you have to do to defend yourself. I think you being transparent is commendable, and I appreciate that very much. I do see, and I was concerned before you got elected about the previous president serving so long, and I thought there was a certain status quo, and that's why I voted for you. So I wanted to share my comments with you tonight. I am closely watching because like I said, I'm concerned that our union isn't going to survive if we have so much public fighting. This is my opinion, but I think you should remain positive and don't let this bog you down, and don't let it be your focus. Just keep doing what you're trying to do. And I think that's how you can unite all of us together, because those of us like me that are just a regular union member, we don't want the fighting. And you're elected because we wanted a change, and there's a lot of power to that. So don't let this negativity control your presidency. You have a lot of good ideas. I may not agree with all of them, but I think you're on the right track. And I just don't want to see you bogged down by negativity. So anyway, thank you for letting me comment.
So Elizabeth Windward, like I told every person who voted for me, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I would not be sitting here in this chair without your vote. Every single vote matters. That's the first thing. Remaining positive. I'm a very positive person, but sometimes my delivery can be construed as being, quote, angry. Now, I know, and I know you're not like this, but there are people who will, quote, construe my behavior and my delivery as being angry because I'm black. I am not backing up off that. And I said that during my campaign. Anyone who followed my campaign on Facebook knows that. And I would give it to people. I'm not angry, I'm passionate. Let's talk about the focus though. Some people can argue and lose focus. When I argue and fight, it actually increases my ability to focus. If it didn't, I wouldn't have produced 17,000 essential worker premium pay petitions. If I didn't have focus, then I wouldn't have listened to our next caller, Yolanda Williams. She said a second time, do those petitions. And I did. I listened. So this idea that I've lost focus, that I can't, quote, lead this union with all this negativity around me, no. Because we're state employees. You made the comment that you started in 2009. Well, Elizabeth Windward, I started June 8th, 2009. You and I started in the same year. I'm no better than you. Negativity will not affect my leadership. Let me say that for you again. Negativity will not affect my leadership, but I realize that sometimes you have to fight to get things done. That's how this country started. Fighting. It started off a fight. Some of our Americans have forgotten that. I'm here to remind you. We started on a fight. And if you start on a fight, you'll end on a fight. Now, our country hopefully will never end in our lifetime. But that's how we started. In order to get things done in this union, we have to clean house. And there's going to be a fight. I don't see people telling Bill Hall to withdraw his lawsuit. I don't see them telling him to stay focused on building membership. They say, well, he's not the president. You're absolutely right. But I think a lot of times people should save their advice and use their energy to talk to Bill Hall. I'm doing my job. And part of my job is to remain president because that is what you elected me to do, Elizabeth Windward. You elected me to not give up, to not let no one run me out of my position, to not let anyone strip me of my powers, to not let anyone disbar me from re-election. That's what you elected me to do because I gave you hope. And remember, I said the 2 term limits. This election, I won. Next election, I'm going to win again. And then I'm done because I'm a man of my word. Now, I may not be more than a woman, but I'm still a man. And this ain't no tragedy that I was elected president of Local 1000 on my 3rd try. All right, next caller, Yolanda Williams. Go ahead, Yolanda.
Hi, Richard. My first issue is I'm confused on, you said that you were the one that did the supplemental pay or something, but I received something in my inbox, not inbox, but in the email, and it says something about SEI Local 721 President Robert Sharonov. Who is he? Because it says
hold on, Yolanda.
Let me finish.
No, let me stop you. Hold on, let me stop you. Let me stop you because I said this earlier, but maybe you didn't hear it correctly. So let me help you here, Yolanda Williams. Bob, and I'm going to tell you. I said earlier that this sick pay was an agreement between Gavin's administration and public sector unions, and I mentioned the California Labor Federation. I gave them a shout out, and I also said SEIU State Council played a pivotal role. Bob is the president of SEIU State Council, Local 721. That's who Bob is.
Okay, that's all I need to know, because I was like, I know you said you was going to do something about it, but why is his name all up in the mix?
His name is all up in the mix because the press went to him and asked him for his viewpoint. That's why his name's all up in the mix.
Okay, and they didn't ask you?
No, they did not ask me because the press is not for me.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's what I wanted to clear up. Don't I just asking a question.
No. And I want to be and I want to be clear. Hold on. I told you tonight that when people call, I'm going to be very clear and distinctive. And my answers will be direct. I will not waffle. So,
Okay.
and I said that repeatedly about the sick pay. And I said it was a great thing. And even though it's just informal, it hasn't been formalized yet. That was the agreement that was reached on the 25th. And so we sent out that email to provide hope to people. We weren't trying to mislead no one. We were telling the truth. That's what we're doing here at Local 1000.
I'm not trying to, well, let me get this straight, since
Okay.
you seem like you want to come at me, because
No,
I'm not trying
no.
to come at you. I got something in my email from our community letter,
Mhm.
and it shows all the different legislation stuff. And
Right.
all it said this person's name, and I knew you was doing something,
Right.
but why wasn't your name in it? That's what I was asking. So I don't know who you talking to and they trying to tell you, oh, calm down or whatever, because that's all I'm asking. That's all I was
right.
asking.
And so what they do is sometimes they'll go to different labor federations and get comments from those presidents. No one asked me for my comment.
Okay, thank
So,
you. And then the other one is, I spoke to you before a couple weeks ago in regards to accountability. And I had a meeting earlier with one of the labor reps and an organizer, one of the higher up. And I asked about a meet and confer regarding the testing that I was told to test twice in November. Here it is, January. I was told soon as we got on the call, well, we're not going to talk about this right now. We're going to talk about the new thing, the new email. Well, that's fine and dandy, but I'm still talking about how come I don't have any accountability in regards to the meet and confer, which I asked about and put in writing for the union to do something about this testing when I was asked to test twice in November. Nobody, I mean, what is it? I mean, why there's no accountability? It's like, we're going to talk about this. I'm talking to you now. Why can't you talk about it? No, we're going to talk about this new stuff that you sent out.
So you make a great point.
Were you on the call?
No.
Did you know about it? No? Okay.
So
Okay.
so listen to this, Yolanda. You make a great point. If you notice, before I came to you, I always acknowledge you for those essential worker premium pay petitions.
I do. Thank you.
Okay, now, because you were the one and you stayed adamant about that, and I'm glad that you did. Now, I have told people on that COVID agreement we got in August, I said it's a great agreement, but it wasn't perfect. I didn't get the perfect agreement. We can still grieve over that testing procedures. And I just said this a few minutes ago that we know that different agencies have different testing requirements. It's not the same. And so we can grieve on that. So I apologize if that person did not answer the question that you called on versus, quote, we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about the new thing. No, that's not what you called on. You wanted to talk about the old thing. You're right.
I want to talk about all of it. Since we're talking, we set up this Zoom. I should be able to talk about it all, especially when it's in November of 2021. Okay, so to me, it's like, wait a second. Yeah, I sent you something new because it's always something going on in my department. Me and these people, which is racking up. It's like a book, and it just seems to me like my things are not. How can I say? It's not important. Like, oh, well, and I know that you guys deal with other people, but you're not dealing with all 100,000. Because most of the people are okay or good with the supervisor, so that they ain't gonna throw a rock in their glass house per se. So you ain't dealing with 100,000 members. Let's keep it real on that one. So I'm just curious. I didn't like that. I don't appreciate that. Because if I'm talking to you on a Zoom call, we should be able to speak about all my issues. And I just wanted to see what, as a president, you would think about them telling me we're not going to talk about that right now when it's actually almost 3 months, 2 months, 2.5 months.
So here's what I'll say.
Okay.
I've already apologized for that. So the next time you talk to them, if you need to have me be on that call, you have my number. you have my word that if you want me to be on a call when you're talking to the staff here to make sure you're being treated with respect and dignity, I will do that. Now, I have done that for other people. I can't always be on every call. I have to trust the people I work with. But I also realize that in order to grow membership, our current membership must have their problems addressed and handled in a satisfactory manner. So when the prior caller, Elizabeth Windward, was saying about don't lose focus, I haven't lost focus on anything. And so you've always been able to reach out to me. And if I don't respond to your text right away, I ask you to forgive me. We will handle your situation. Will we handle it to the best of your satisfaction? So far, we have not been able to give you complete satisfaction on the different issues. I realize that. Yeah.
Okay. My last thing is I'd like to congratulate Angela Pruitt for LA Fed delegate.
Okay. Well, I'm sure she's still.
Right on, Miss Pruitt.
Well, okay. And you know what? Yolanda Williams, Angela Pruitt, Betty Jackson Stewart. I have a feeling between now and sometime in the future, you will see me in person. And it will be as a surprise. Thank you for your call. All right, next caller, DLC 789 President Eileen Boughton. Boughton.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. As far as the supplemental pay, if people are going out right now, the management is sending them home, and I'm presuming they're going to be getting ATO. They won't convert that to the supplemental sick pay. It can still remain as ATO for them, for they can still save the 2 weeks, correct?
I don't have that answer. That's a good question.
Okay.
I don't have that answer. Because from the information I was reading, I didn't see the ATO language, but I was reading a bunch of pages. So I may have missed that word. So I don't want to say on that. Okay.
Okay, and then I just also want to give a shout out to Cal Vet. On January 20th, Cal Vet did a webinar for the missing and murdered Indigenous women. And it will be placed on the Cal Vet website for people could view that and get educated on what is going on with the Indigenous people here in California with the missing and murdered. So I just want to give a big shout out to them for informing the veterans and everybody who will view it. So thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for everything you did, Richard. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Eileen, for calling in. We want to thank the Cal Vet for putting that information out. That's important information. And then we go back to the prior caller, Yolanda Williams. Angela Pruitt says, hello, Yolanda. All right. Next caller, Patricia Costa. Good evening, Patricia.
Hi, Richard. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. Hey, I just wanted to talk to you, just bring up a few little things. I know there's been a lot of talk about the supplemental sick leave and the ATO.
Yes.
So I obviously I don't have all the information, but I know that past practice, the supplemental sick leave was enacted a little bit over a year ago, and then it stopped, and then they reinstated it, and they reinstated it the same terms. So typically what I've seen is that you fill out paperwork, and then they put your time back on the books that you've used, and it'll retro back to January 1st. So they will retro it to January 1st. They add your time back on the books that you were used for supplemental sick leave if you were sick. Now, if you were caring for a family member, I believe it's ATO. And last week, somebody also asked you about time for an adverse action to the vaccine. The memo that was previously put out stated you got 3 hours off to get the vaccine, but it stated that you could get 3 days pay for the reaction to the vaccine. So I just wanted to let people know about that. I know that there's a lot of questions and a lot going on, and I wanted to thank you for your transparency. I know there's a lot of things that are said and a lot of things that go on. My personal opinion and, my feelings in my heart and my brain is I think there's definitely some untrue things that are being stated, defamatory in nature. I know some of the allegations that are waged against you definitely don't line up with your veteran status and the fact that you were able to enter a level 4 institution. So, people need to get with it and stop with the bullshit.
Well.
You know? Well, you know, I'm going to tell you something. Somebody of common sense and of a practical mind is well aware that somebody who's active duty, military, or reserve can't be in possession of a firearm. So there's that, you know? Case closed.
Listen, if I was to respond to every allegation, I'd be responding for the rest of my life. So here's what I tell people. We all have a past. Some of us have a darker past than others. Sometimes people will take parts of the truth and mix it with a lie. And that's when things get tough. That's when you have to go in front of a jury. I haven't lived a perfect life, and I never said that I did. What I have told people is, I had a dream from God that I was going to be the president of Local 1000. That does not make me any better than anyone else. But I also realized that with my election victory, that was going to cause a lot of headache. Because here's the funny thing, Patricia. People run for office, political office. They'll tell you anything they can to get your vote. And then once they arrive on the scene, then they change it up on you. I haven't. For better or for worse, I haven't changed. I'm still that same person that was talking that stuff in my campaign in 2018. Very professional in 2018. 2021, I was coming for people. You had something to say to me, I was coming right back at you, and I refused to back up. And I'm not backing up now. But people know I'm not a liar. And so when I say I'm trying to get you paid all this money and protection in the workplace, I'm 1,000% sincere. And so my adversaries, they knew from day one they could never have me in office because they know we'll shut the state down, because they know the state will never bargain in good faith. And so they're working with other people to remove me from office. And if I've done 10 good things, the one bad thing I may have done, or the couple bad things I may have done, they're going to take that and they're going to add to it, and they're going to expand on it, and they're going to make you think I'm the greatest threat to American society. I'll stop there. Thank you for your call. Next caller, DLC 768, President Cheryl Allen. Good evening, Cheryl.
Good evening, Richard. How are you doing?
Doing just great.
Good. I just wanted to make a comment. I can't think of the caller who had stated that she is, she doesn't like the infighting. She doesn't like the image that it not only portrays for you, but she's also not necessarily, too pleased with the image that it will portray for new coming members, etc. I agree with her 100%. You and I have had this conversation in the past. However, I'm also curious to know if this same caller has spoken with any of the members of the opposing team or the opposing group who seems to continuously antagonize and create these moments in which you are taken out of character and led to defend yourself. I too am, a little weary of this kind of a conversation. However, it works two ways. My mother always told me when fighting with my brother, you have to be looking at him to know that he's looking at you. So if people are tired of you fighting, rather than coming to you, telling you to stop fighting, why don't they use the same energy and go to that opposing team and tell them to knock it off? Knock it off with the lies. Knock it off with the allegations. Knock it off with the lawsuits and whatever else that they want to do. If they are so sure that they're justified in what it is that they do, they've done what they've done. Let the law and the court take care of it, and it'll be a done deal at that point. But they continue to feed this fire, and then they get mad at you when you either add fuel to it or come in and put it out. So I just want to extend that offer and suggestion to those who are always quick to come and tell you to stop fighting, stop doing this, that, and the third. Why don't you use that same energy and go and speak to those individuals? He's named them. You know who they are. You know where they work. You know what their positions are. If you have an issue with the fighting and the bantering that's going on, then take the issue to the people who are creating the fight, not the person who's defending or winning the fight. Thank you.
So DLC 768 President Cheryl Allen, that's a great point. You know, I said this earlier, what she just said. I said, the people who are asking me to not let the negativity get me down, are you calling Bill Hall and telling him the same thing? I said this. But here's the funny thing what I know about people. If I had to handle these people from the very beginning, some of these board of directors, the way I needed to, we wouldn't be in this situation right now, but I didn't do that. And my gut said that was a mistake. This is 2022. I'm going to laugh and smile, but you can best believe, if a fight is what you're looking for, a fight is what you will get. And you're going to get it. And I'm going to fight you to the last bit of breath that's in me. Now, I say that with a smile on my face, because I'm not mad. Because I know in my heart, these people, if they don't remove me, will make U.S. history. And you'll make money. No one, including my ex-wife, has ever been around me and not made money. And I'm looking at people in this room, a couple of these people in this room. They've all made money off Richard. And they'll make more money off Richard if they keep Richard around. And they know that. What I'm trying to figure out is, Local 1000, you need to keep Richard around. If you want to make a lot of money and get respect in the workplace and get a contract that's worth enforcing, keep me around. If you want to continue to be treated as a child and to beg like a child for someone to give you something, then let them remove me from office and disbar me from re-election, and you'll keep begging as a child. Next caller. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. VP Secretary Treasurer David Jimenez. Go ahead, Dave.
Unmuted. Am I unmuted? There you go.
Oh, yes.
Good evening, Richard, President Brown, and everybody listening tonight. I just wanted to chime in and acknowledge the LA County Federation delegates that were at the meeting this Monday, at the House of Labor meeting that we have with the LA Fed every once a month. We had Yolanda Williams, Betty Jackson Stewart, Angela Pruitt, Bill Suhar, Annika Walls, Oliver Carriaga, Enrique Negrete, and myself, David Jimenez. We were all there and attended and had a great experience. So just wanted to share that. I know it was mentioned earlier, so that kind of reminded me that was a very good point. So I complete the list of all those that attended this past Monday. And just also wanted to throw out a reminder about the DLC inventory list and the budget package that's due by the 31st of this month. And we've been getting great responses, so that's been going good. And that's pretty much it. Just wanted to keep it on a positive note. Thank you for making these Zooms available to everybody. I think it's great.
Okay, now listen, that's our statewide Vice President, Secretary Treasurer, David Jimenez. David is doing a great job. And he did a great job December, make sure I get my dates right, the 18th on the Budget Committee presentation. He answered a lot of questions. He took a lot of heat. And, you know, he's the chair of the Budget Committee, which I'm part of. And he has led that committee. Those discussions have been, as I would call it, remarkable. Very remarkable under his leadership. And so sometimes you don't hear me talk enough about David. You know, if anybody knows anything about the name David, you don't go to war with David. You may come up short. David is very shrewd. He's very intelligent. He's very competent in his role as the Vice President, Secretary Treasurer, statewide for Local 1000. He's doing an amazing job. Let me say that for you again. The Vice President, Secretary Treasurer of Local 1000, David Jimenez, is doing an amazing job. Next caller, DLC 770 President Nicole Solo. Hello, Nicole.
Hi, Richard.
Hey.
I just wanted to say that 1770 still has your back and always will, and we need you to come to CHCF and see us again.
Done. And I got your back too, Nicole.
Thank you.
DLC 770, you've always given me love and support. And I always tell people, when you give me love and support, I'm going to give back to you a little more. That's called good business.
That's right.
You have my word on that.
I'd like to see it again.
Well, as soon as, hopefully.
Thank you. I'd love to see it.
Yep. And as soon as the prisons relax their, when they shut the prisons down, once this spike goes down and the prisons are open back up, I'll be revisiting these prisons all over again. And a lot more, because I know the southern region, I'm being told I haven't done my job, so I will be down in the southern region. That's a promise. Thank you for your call. All right, next caller. Gerald Douglas. Hi, Gerald.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you today?
First off, thank you for your presentations and outreach. That's for all the members. That's awesome. We appreciate that.
Hello. Wait. Your connection is a little off, Gerald.
Is it? Can you hear me better?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to tell David, thank you for coming on as a vice president. We don't hear from the vice presidents much on your calls, and I wanted to tell him thank you for coming on. Last year or so, the last 3 years, the vice presidents were can't think of the best word to say, but muted. They weren't able to speak at all the town halls. They weren't able to speak. They were like ostracized, and man, it was just horrible. And I appreciate that you're working with the VPs. They're working with you. That looked good for the union. There's a lot of negative talk about the union, but I think if the VPs and the president stick together, which it seems is happening, there's a lot of positive to look forward to in the union. There's a lot of negative. I say it's a minority that's the negative, because it was a small group that, I don't want to get into all that. But I wanted to say thank you for what you're doing, putting the information out there for the members. That'll help the members grow, I feel, and help us to go out and bring those members back that left. There's a lot of members I know. I'm a dealer for Unit 11, so I represent Unit 11, and a lot of the members I'm bringing back, me, Bill Leon, Deborah Franco, and a group of us, we're bringing the members back slowly. During time of COVID, a lot of them kind of dropped off after Unit 11. We thought we'd be able to go back to the table.
Yes.
A lot of people know what happened with Unit 11.
Yes.
So we're all for sticking with votes, and we voted you in. We support you, and hopefully we'll get opportunity again after 4 or so contracts of being pushed to the side. We were within 5% of a group that we work with and do the same work with, and now we're within 35% of them. And it's just getting a larger gap. Cost of living is getting worse. We didn't agree with the contract. 7% over a 3-year period. There's a lot of good things in the contract, which are good, bringing people up to $15 an hour, which is great. And some good things in the contract. But I don't want to stay on here too long, but I just want to say thank you. And also I had a question, being that, it is a change of the guard. Hopefully we can start on the bargaining process, and hopefully you and the VPs have a map made out on the process for bargaining. I know it's way ahead of time, but I think we need to start early. And I know you're dealing with a lot of other things besides COVID. Safety first. That's our motto at the department, DLT, safety first. So just want to say thank you again. And to everyone out here listening, that the transportation engineering technicians, every highway you drive on, every guardrail you go by, every bridge you go over, we maintain those, we build those, we design those. The caller that came on last time, he's a diver. He's an engineering technician. He's a diver. He inspects all of the bridges him and a couple of other guys. I think he asked for diving pay increase. He also is down 35% in pay on the average of what an engineering technician should be receiving. But he saves lives, goes down and inspects those. He puts his life on the line. So imagine diving in the ocean, going down, looking at bridges. And I mean, just imagine that. But anyway, so every highway you drive on, just know an engineering technician did that work on there, and they safety first. So have a good evening.
Okay, Gerald, thank you. I was listening to every word that you said. I want to go back to what you said about the VPs and myself working together. You're absolutely right. We need to be united. As you heard me talk tonight off this PowerPoint presentation, one of the VPs, Irene Green, she's not united with me. And she has not asked for forgiveness for trying to, quote, strip me of my powers and run for a chair position on the board by attending the illegal, out of order, improper meeting. And she's disrespected the will of the voters. Thank God that I'm still able to work with David and Annika Walls. And hopefully one day Irene will ask for forgiveness and we will be able to be united. We scheduled some tentative dates for SBAC this year. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but I really can't. But we put those dates up on our website. And so we are going to, quote, start early. Our contract ends on June 30th, 2023. We don't start contract negotiations until the spring of 23. Now, people say, well, you can't wait till then to organize. You're absolutely right. And one of the keys to us organizing is to end the internal squabbles within our union. It's hard to, quote, organize when your president is under attack and they're trying to remove him from the union. Remember they told you that they didn't want me to be the chief negotiator of the contract. They want to strip me of my presidential powers. Now they tell you to remove me out completely and to disbar me from re-election. Let me reassure you, I'm not going anywhere. And I hope that those people who are out against me, including Bill Hall, Teresa Taylor, and the rest of them, this video is being recorded. It's going to be on my Facebook. It's going to go up on our website. They can use it any way they want to. I haven't lied on anything. They're the ones who are lying. And all these PowerPoint presentations are up on our website for everyone to download and keep copies of. I just want to see if I stop talking and she'll stop doing her sign language. All right, so look, I just do that kind of stuff. So listen, there's something else that Gerald Douglas said that I feel very passionate about. The contract was done October of 2019, after bargaining unit 11 had to do a revote because they voted the contract down the first time. And then the former president said that they were given wrong information and that they had to vote again. Let me reassure bargaining unit 11. Let me reassure you, you won't have to worry about getting a bad contract because you won't be given one to vote on to begin with. And if you should get a contract under my leadership and vote it down, you won't be asked to vote on that same contract again. I want you to book this at 8:31 on January 26, 2022, because I am not lying and I am not playing games. If a bargaining unit votes down a contract, you will not have to vote on that same contract again because someone tells you you were given wrong information. That's a lie. They voted that contract down. They should have respected the vote. The policy file did not give a clear answer about making a bargaining unit vote again on a contract. This is another reason why they're trying to remove me from office. Because I'm going to respect the vote. Because I'm not a hypocrite. And just like the same people, some of these same people who are trying to remove me from office because they can't respect the vote of the voters, but yet they tell you to respect the victory of Joseph Biden. These are the hypocrites, some of the board and some of our leaders in Local 1000. That's who they are. So when they say, stay focused on your job, when I stay focused on the job, you see how focused they were on removing me from doing my job. Because I didn't handle them from the very beginning the way I needed to. And that started with DLC 786 President Teresa Taylor. With those racist, homophobic, sexist statements she made about me. Okay? I didn't handle that the way I needed to. And I didn't get the support from certain individuals who have privilege to help me. But that's in 21. We're in 22. So things are going to be a lot different. I'm getting a lot more support now. And the great thing about tonight, we finally had a chance in writing to show you what I've been telling you about certain individuals all along and why I'm fighting for my life. Tonight, I told you I'm not guilty about anything regarding my local 1,000 presidency. I think in our own personal lives, we always have some guilt on some decisions we've made. But the decision that I made to run for local 1,000 president and to serve you, I have no guilt. I am not sorry for nothing I've said. Not one single thing. I stand by what I say. And some people don't think that I'm measured in my words, but I am. And don't try to say that I've said things that I did not say, that I tried to create violence, because that's another statement of racist influence when it comes to black men in positions of power and influence. I am not letting up off this. If you don't like the fact that I'm fighting for people, you think that I'm too racial, that I'm too sensitive about being black in this country, oh well, I'm not moving back to Africa. How's that? I'm not moving back to Africa, and I'm not going to shut my mouth either, and I'm not going to know my place either. And as the local 1,000 president, you can best believe I'm going to stand strong, I'm going to stand proud, strong, proud, and relentless. And it doesn't have to be in the month of February for Black History Month for this black man to be proud of who he is. I'm proud 365 days a year. Best believe it. Well, on that note, tonight's been fun. I've had an exciting night. I don't know about you. I feel good. Took a few calls. Wasn't a lot of callers on tonight. I wonder why. Was it the PowerPoint presentation? Probably. Was it because I told you, if you come for me, I'm coming right back for you tonight? Maybe. Ain't nobody afraid of me. You should be. You should be. But not afraid of me because of violence or anger, but respect my intelligence. Respect my ability to never, ever give up in this great country. Maybe that's what you're fearing. My desire to not let no tragedy stop my life, stop my progress. And even though I may not have a lot of nights on Broadway, question is, I know who I am. And maybe I've given out too much heaven to you. Question is, how deep is your love? To stay with local 1,000, how deep is your love? That's the question we need to know. No jive talking, no fever at nighttime, night fever, whatever. What I want to know is, how deep is your love? Do you have enough love to stay with this union? Do you have enough love in your heart to grow this union? Do you have enough love in your heart to say enough is enough? We're not going to let these people attack our president. If you allow a small group of people to attack your president, you won't have a union. You won't. Now, I'm staying alive. And you should be dancing too. Staying alive, dancing. Let me tell you something. You got to have a resolve of a lifetime to be the president of Local 1000. And this is where I'll give much, much credit to Jim Hart and Yvonne Walker. Text one to no one. Did we always agree with their decisions? No. But they kept this union strong. Now you had to wait to the end of this live video to hear me acknowledge the former two presidents and their ability to keep this union strong. We may not agree with all their decisions, but they kept the union strong. And respect is respect. What I'm trying to find out is, do they have enough respect in their hearts to tell these so-called individuals who are trying to run me out of office, stop the madness? Because they still have, quote, enough love in their heart. So I guess the question is, I'm asking Jim and Yvonne, how deep is your love for Local 1000? Mwah! Love you. Today is January 26, 2022, and I'm Richard Lewis Brown, your Local 1000 president. Good night.